after the somewhat controversial nostalgia collection of 2023, it seems that they have listened to the uproar of people who did not like the idea of not getting winter things in winter. I don't know. But yes, the Art Journal of Winter release is coming. We're going to have a look at all of the goods. Let me know as we go through which items are you excited about, which ones you kind of like, and which ones do you think you'll actually be adding to your cart, or maybe the ones that'll just kind of slip in there sneaky like. I have my large bottle of water as we go through because we're totally playing a drinking game with this, and every time I say cute, make sure that you hydrate. We're not endorsing excessive alcohol drinking at this moment. Oh lord, somebody is giving me a call. Well, that's for later. Sorry, friendo. Somebody's package got delivered to our house because we have like a kind of similar address, but not similar enough to warrant actually having their stuff. But alrighty, we have the full reveal blog post here. Let's have a look. So this one is called our Winterscapes collection. Going to be coming to us on Friday, November 8th at 9 a.m. CT, which for me is like ass crack o'clock, dead of night. Will I wake up for it? We will have to wait and see. So, without further ado, what is coming in our winter collection? So we have the winter notebooks. Always got to start with the notebooks. I mean, that's always the main attraction for me, at least. And when this one was shown on Instagram, I was just like, oh yes, kind of a thing. I'm like, in terms of like, wintry themes and such, this one gives me like borderline fall vibes. So I was kind of like, okay, alrighty, I'm gonna pick up what you're putting down here. So this one is the Fox in Winter Woods notebook, featuring full cover whimsical winter scene with trees and foxes printed on a vegan leather cover. Like when I first saw this one, I was kind of, I don't know, worried isn't necessarily the right word, but some of the full cover designs we've had previously, they've been on this kind of like almost like papery kind of texture, which has always made me kind of worried to use it because I'm worried that I'm going to like hurt the notebook. But this one being on a vegan leather cover, I feel like it's kind of going to be more akin to what we saw in the subscription box, the Dark and Decadent one that had that printing on the front of that one. So that's my expectation. But of course, this is just an expectation. I don't like have the notebook in my hand. Let's have a closer look at this design though. We'll open this one in another tab if I can remember what I'm doing here. Open image in a new tab. I did just wake up. I apologize. So let's see. We have, a little foxy designs. We've got little deer, different trees, which is quite cute. I like this kind of like washed, like, I don't know, it looks kind of like paper almost because you can see like where things overlap and such in the background. I think that looks quite nice. Obviously, we've got little foxies looking around, making sure, constant vigilance, got to stay sharp here. And this one just be like, nah, there's no danger, I'm totally fine. I don't know a lot about foxes, but I appreciate our variety in terms of like the designs and stuff on here and their kind of repetition, of the print throughout. I think it's quite cute. Do I know what I would use this for? Absolutely not. Will I be getting it? Maybe. I have not decided yet, and given that this is the first item, we can't call it too soon, all right? We have to make sure that we look at all of the goods to make a very thoroughly thought about shopping list because I don't want to break the bank, holiday season and all of that. Of course, if you are going to go shopping on release day or at any other point, you can of course use JashiiCorrin 10 for 10% off at Archer and Olive. We love savings. I can't use it because it's my code and that would be weird, but you can use it and it's always just nice to save some money. So, moving on. What do we reckon? Is this one for you? Is this one that oh, did I say cute? Oh no! Gosh, dang it. The first item. I'm glad you're keeping track because I am just going to run my mouth on autopilot here. Let's see, the background kind of reminds you of a watercolor wash overlap thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with it. I thought that it looked kind of like that, which I thought was pretty cute. I said it again. That was a trick. You tricked me. I'm going to be so dang hydrated this morning. The body's going to be like, oh, who dis? Like, what's going on here? I haven't had this much water in many moons. Kind of true. But anywho, moving on. So, in terms of the inside cover here, you can see we have some little tree designs, which is very nice. I both like and don't like the printing on the inside cover, mainly because I actually use my inside cover quite often for functional stuff, but I understand that it is kind of nice to have a little bit of decoration as well. So this one seems to be on a gold foiling with the like kind of, tree print, the one that looks a bit more like, not sparse, because like it has leaves, but you can see through the leaves a bit. So it's not just like triangles. So that one's kind of nice. But putting that one to the side, we go down, down, down. The next one, I was just like, oh my god, kind of a sucker for that too. So this one is the Northern Lights notebook. So featuring a mountain scene with dancing aurora borealis stamped in enchanting bright blue foil on a deep blue vegan leather cover. I like the idea of blue on blue. That's kind of exciting. And I also like the idea of seeing foil that isn't just silver or gold. Oftentimes when we see the foiling, it is gold, and all of the silver fan people get up in arms. It's okay, we see you. Well, I see you. They don't. I see you. But it's kind of nice to be bringing different colors into this, because I know that in the Halloween box we got that red foiling, for the blood moon kind of vibes, which was quite cool. So we open this one up, and I'm going to endeavor to not say the forbidden words. So we can zoom in here. You see that kind of skyline effect, and then the aurora borealis. I so want to see the aurora borealis. I would actually think that this cover would have been really cool on printed in the same way that the Fox one was, with the actual kind of color and stuff on it and whatnot, especially because the Northern Lights are so beautiful. Yep, like said, it is a blue Joe, so I feel like I should probably avoid it because I have so many blue notebooks, but it does tempt me. It does tempt me. So I like the trees. I like the aurora borealis. I love the blue foiling. I think that that's a really cool feature for this one. What do we think? Do you guys think that this one would be for you? I've seen a couple people say that they prefer it to the Fox one so far. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's gorgeous. Yeah. And yes, I thought we were moving away from blue Joes. Very that. I think that it's funny because if we continue through and have a look at the rest of this one, we do have another blue notebook in here. Yep, there you see it poking its little head out the bottom here. But we'll have a look at that end card as well because it's nice. Alrighty, that one is gone. Ooh, stars and sparkles. They know that I'm the target audience for this. Oh, no. I would love to see this one reflect the light. I think that that one would be really, really pretty. And the nice part about this is that it isn't printed the whole way down, which means that in terms of those functional elements, I can still stick those along the bottom and not have them cover up the design. I don't know how many other people actually use the inside cover as a kind of functional thing, but let's see. Yep. How can you plan for purchase without pricing? Site. Yeah, I think that that's a little bit tricky. The thing with their notebook releases is that they do tell us if prices are going to change on notebooks at least. So these ones, I would expect that for any size that you're getting, it's probably going to be the same price as you would previously have seen. So I think that's what, 37 for a square, 35 for an A5. My memory is bad. Do not quote me on this, but remember, it's less if you use a discount code. Love savings. So I just joined. What site are we on? We are looking at the Archer and Olive winter release. There should be a link both in the description box and maybe at the top of the chat. We're just scrolling through and having a look at the goods that are coming out this Friday. So I'm a sucker for that end card. I think it's really, really pretty. I think I'm doing very well to not use the forbidden word, so I'm just going to give myself snaps for that. But moving on to the next one, and oh my gosh, this is the one that I think is gonna break me. And I know, I literally just said, we're not getting any more blue notebooks. The Blue Joe phase is over. We don't need anything else that's blue. But I love a full color design and it's so gorgeous. But let's read. Let us read. So, snowflake design, part debossed and part hand stamped with silver foil. Oh, the silver people, they shall rejoice unless they don't like blue. And then they're just like, why did you ruin it? Anyways, on an icy blue vegan leather cover. So, that's very exciting. I didn't think this one was vegan leather. I thought this one was buckram. Looking at it, it looks like buckram. So, hold the phone on that one, but let's have a closer look at our design here because this one would look so beautiful on the shelf. It's a shelf trophy that I will eventually use. My current notebook that I'm using is very much that way as well. Where is he? He's here. So current one that I'm using is that purple Wanderlust with the holographic foiling kind of thing, and I'm just like, ooh, I think he needs a friend, and I think he needs a friend that's blue and has a snowflake on him. But let's see, the snowflake storybook is pretty, but I'm okay to pass on it. Good. I am glad that you are marked safe from the snowflake, mainly because I want one and you're not allowed to steal my one. No. I know I said I wasn't maybe gonna get up at ass crack o'clock to get notebooks, but if this one sells out before I wake up, I would be devastato. So maybe I will. It does look like buckram, doesn't it? So if we kind of do the sneaky, do a real close zoom in here kind of a thing and have a look. This texture is akin to what we have seen with a buckram before. So I would expect that it is buckram. Maybe that was just a typo. We'll scroll down, we'll have a look at the other graphic that kind of summarizes all of the different journals that we have in the lineup, and we'll have a look at what that says. But we need to go and see what that end card looks like. Ooh, fancy. This one looks a little bit more kind of like, what's the word? Subdued. And we also have spine design, which I love, and we also have back cover design. And the back cover design doesn't have the foiling because it sits against the desk and rubs off the foiling, so it's not a lot of point to it. Let's see. Biggest question is A5 or square? Yeah, that's the thing, eh? I find that some designs look better in certain sizes, so we're definitely going to go and have a look at that graphic and see which one we think is kind of like the best. Like, for instance, personal opinions, okay? Like, all of these are my personal opinions. So if I'm going, oh, I don't like the look of this, and you're just like, excuse me, I love this, that's cool. It's all for you. Go forth. I'm not going to buy your copy. Everything is good. But for this one in particular, I thought that this design looked best in the kind of like more rectangular size notebooks. I thought that on the square, while they had added some like extra clouds and stuff to make it a little bit wider, I didn't think it looked quite as nice, but it's all good. Let's have a look. We wanted to see the end card here. That one has like the kind of snowflake designs and then also these little kind of like leaf shapes. I don't know, moth eyebrows. I don't know what they would be called. But I like that that one's a little bit more subtle. It's also a tighter repeating pattern, so I wouldn't feel bad about going in and sticking something over the top of part of it. I will say that like I know that they're not out here doing this level of quality control, but I'm like, what is that? It's a blemish on the notebook. But I don't think that they really care about that. We can still get the vibes from it, and I'm sure the one that arrives to your house is not going to have that kind of a blemish on it. And if it does, I'm sure customer service will take care of you. Moth eyebrows, you just snorted your drink through your nose. I apologize. I feel like even though I haven't said the word, I'm just going to say it so that we can have a drink. Cute. Because this one is that. I'm not going to say it twice. You only have to take one sip. There we go. So I'm all in on the square snowflake. Yeah, I would like to have a look and see what it looks like because I know in my heart of hearts, I do not need more notebooks that are A5. I definitely have enough. So I'm kind of thinking like, oh, I really like this design, but like what if I get it in square? Then it's like, okay, you've still got the design, it's just a little different. So we've got the spine design, that's really pretty. We've got the back design, really pretty as well. And it says last but not least, which is not last because we have a whole bunch of other things, but this is last for notebooks at least. So we have the Polar Penguin notebook featuring a charming penguin in a cozy scarf stamped in silver foil on a purple cushioned vegan leather cover. The idea of cushioned is the part that interests me because we've seen quite a few different types of vegan leather from Archer and Olive. Some of them have held up better than others. For instance, the Galaxy Drip one, that one has definitely seen some better days, but the vegan leather covers that I've used past that have actually been quite good, so it's hard to say. But having a look at our penguin, so opening him up, having a look. He's pretty fancy in his scarf, looking very swag. But while I am a purple person, and while purple is definitely my like favorite color kind of thing, I don't often get a lot of stuff in purple. Mainly because I am a picky purple person, like a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater. I like my purples to be more like this kind of a purple, like a dark royal kind of purple, rather than like a mauve kind of thing. So in terms of colors, this one is not actually for me, despite being purple. I know that there are a lot of purple fans out there though, so hopefully it is their kind of purple. It's the purple that they quite like. In terms of the penguin, I think it's cute, but I also think that I am personally moving away from like icon in the middle of a notebook kind of designs. This is the design type that we've seen from them, like, forever, effectively. Like, did they invent it? Probably not, but they certainly have quite a range of ones that had a design in the middle. But I don't find myself drawn to those as much anymore. I am much more of a sucker for the full cover designs, with the spine designs, and all of that kind of thing. But it's nice to see that when they do these releases, they are keeping in mind different preferences like that. So we had like the Aurora Borealis, which is a singular design, but it's a little bit larger. We have the Penguin, which is kind of more the traditional individual icons stamped on the front. We have those two full cover designs, one in color, one in the kind of storybook design. So hopefully there is something for everybody in this release, or your wallet is safe and you can spend your money on other things. Yay! Ugh, benefits all round. But in terms of this one, it's pretty. Did I say cute? I did? Oh, well, I said it again now, so double tink. Tink, tink. One, two. Oh no, my bottle's just like, wow, you've already reached the 9 a.m. level of hydration, which is good because it's 9:17 for me. Admittedly, I did start when the stream started though, so like not too bad. But he's a very sensible looking penguin, but I don't think it's going to be one that goes onto my shopping list. So I guess of the ones we've seen so far, because those are our oh dear, I closed the wrong thing. I'll have to go back and figure that out. But of the ones we've seen so far, which one do you think would be your preference? Notably, I think that for me, it's going to be the the storybook snowflake. I just think that that one is absolutely gorgeous. But I would be kind of tempted by the Aurora Borealis one. Notably, also, like they still have stock of other notebooks on the site as well. So if you are going to grab yourself something, make sure that you just like have a little peruse through the rest of the site. Mainly because if you actually live in continental US, free shipping exists. If you don't, shipping is expensive, and you want to bundle and save on that kind of stuff by getting all of your items at once. For instance, I was very tempted to just pick up another of the stencils just in case mine breaks. Like, I don't think it's gonna break, but I have been so in love with this B5 stencil, which is weird because like I don't use a B5 notebook ever, but I have found it very, very helpful. So getting our full reveal back up here so that we can bring that back and scrolling back down to the place that we were before because somebody closed too many windows. I wonder who that was. Certainly wasn't me. It's just somebody who looks like me. Let's see. So there we go. Got that back here. Beautiful. Fabulous. Thank you very much. I do get annoyed that every time I go to the Archer and Olive website, it's like, hey, accept cookies. I'm like, I've already done this. I've got enough cookies. I don't need more cookies. Anyway, so let's see. You wish that the Northern Lights were hollow instead of just silver? Yeah, I mean, I like the blue. I do like the blue, but I think that holographic would have made a lot of sense for that kind of design. Let's see. Yours broke too. Did still not though. No, no. I'm sad to hear that because yeah, I've just been like very careful with mine because it's precious and it's just very, very useful. And even though I only really use A5 notebooks, I know the divisions well enough that it doesn't really matter that I don't have markers. What I just appreciate is that it's straight edged so you can actually use it as a ruler. So this has kind of become my primary ruler because it like measures DocGrid boxes. So I find it very helpful. One thing I will say that does irk me a little bit about this ruler is that the centimeter side doesn't actually show millimeters. It looks like it does, but if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't actually have to count them, but still, there's only 8 segments rather than 10. So they're actually kind of measuring like a half centimeter, a quarter centimeter, and an eighth of a centimeter, which seems a little bit strange, but yeah. So in terms of our penguin and the design on the inside cover here, we've got the return of the snowflakes, this one in that kind of like silver foiling. And again, it's a nice kind of like tighter repeating pattern, so I wouldn't feel too bad covering over part of it, but I'm also probably not going to be getting the penguin because there are other notebooks that hold my heart a little bit more. So let's see. Yeah, regardless of whether you use a B5 notebook, the fact that the stencil is larger helps when you want to draw a line across the entire notebook. Agreed. Yes, it is very, very useful. Yep, it's an American using metric for you. I know, right? I was kind of just like, I know that you guys use, I say you guys, anybody who's in the US, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I could be talking schmack. You guys use like inches and half inches and stuff like that, right? Question mark. Whereas here in New Zealand, Australia, other places that use the metric system, we use centimeters and then millimeters, which is tenths. So yeah, the messed up measurements, I don't find it too bad, but that's because I don't do a lot of centimeter measuring with this. I just do dot grid measuring with this, and that's the part that I use the most. So it doesn't bother me to the extent where I've actually started using the millimeter edge to do cutting with my craft knife because I'm always worried that I'm going to like shave up the side of a ruler or anything. But I'm like, you're a thick piece of plastic with measurements that I don't use, so it's actually quite handy. But anywho, so rolling on through, each notebook design features white dot grid pages in the sizes B5, 8 by 8, A5, TN, and B6. And here is where it says that the snowflake is on buckram. And this is where I must have gotten that idea from, and just the fact that it looks like buckram. So that's kind of helpful as well. So open image in a new tab, make sure that we do not close all of the tabs. We're just going to go and have a look in particular at the storybook design. And obviously, like, we can't see it perfectly because this is quite zoomed in on the image, but just having a look at how the design changes when you move to different sizes. Because, like, for instance, if you went to the 8x8 with the like woodland creatures and you just stretched the design, your fox would be looking very odd and your deer would be looking like a limousine deer. We don't want a limousine deer. So it's good to see that they have considered that when they've done these, and they've just added like kind of a repeat of the pattern throughout. So that's kind of nice. So, like, we can kind of compare the B6, which has the 3 foxes, the 2 deers, to the square, which has 1, 2, 3, 4 foxes and 3 deers. 3 deers? 3 deer. 1 deer? 2 deer. Oh dear. Anyway, so in terms of our penguin, the penguin you can see sits a little bit higher than center on the 8x8, which makes sense because it sits a little bit higher than center on the other designs as well. I don't know if that would bother somebody, but it might. Okay, yeah, deer. Whoops. Oh no, I tried. But I do think that the storybook design, and I mean, I kind of expected it to, but the storybook design does look fairly good on the 8x8. I think that that would be a very nice square design to get. I think that the Travelers, actually, they've done a fairly good job of balancing it as well. Notably, they've taken away some of those kind of like corner design pieces at the top and bottom, so that then they can make it a bit more of a streamlined design to fit on the Travelers. So it's nice to see that they've kind of done very intentional things about making sure that the designs fit well, which is nice. So that looks pretty cute. The Aurora Borealis is just kind of, sitting there being an Aurora Borealis. So that one's fine. I don't have any real kind of qualms or issues with that one. It was mainly to see if the storybook design and the other full cover, being that, like, Foxy Friend in the Woods one, looked okay. But oh gosh, it's beautiful. I need it in every size. I don't. What does TN mean? TN means Traveler's Notebook. It's effectively the same height as an A5, but it is distinctly skinnier. So yeah, like they say, tall and skinny. That one's looking cute. We can close that one up. All right. So yeah, buckram, not vegan leather, 2 vegan leathers, 3 vegan leathers? Really? All vegan leathers, except for the buckram. That's a lot of vegan leathers. We don't have any linen covers in this this lineup, which is a little bit sad. Did I say cute? I probably say cute. I'm gonna believe you because you guys are actually listening for it. Tink. Do I have a C word counter? That sounds bad, but so it's interesting to see that we don't have any linen covers in this one. I know that there are people out there who do prefer linen covers, so it is interesting that we don't have one in this lineup. I think if I was going to put one of them on a vegan leather, it probably would have been the penguin. I said vegan leather. I meant linen. Oh dear. But I don't have to drink for that one because it's not the forbidden word, so all is good. But in terms of notebooks, I think that the storybook one is probably the one that has my heart, but I'm interested to see which ones end up getting snapped up the fastest on sale day. So, winter accessories. Ah, yes, the party continues. So, first we have the new color palette Winterscapes and the calligraphs and the acrylograph pens. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So, each comes with 10 new colors. I always love that they specify that they're going to be new, because it's always kind of sad when you get a set of pens, maybe they do like a 5-pack or a 10-pack even, and like a couple of those colors are repeats, and you're just like, I already have that. What else you got? I've also found that with some of the colors they have been releasing recently, some of them do kind of look like very strong relations to ones we've already seen, which is only really a problem if you're a collector like some of us are and you buy the pens at every single release. If this is your first release and you're buying the pens, no harm, no foul, all is good. But in terms of this, I do love this palette. We're going to go have a look at them because they are gorgeous. Let's see. Yeah, you think your favorite material is buckram? Yeah, I think that my favorite is probably buckram as well, because it kind of is like the best of both worlds. It has the kind of durability feel of the vegan leather, and like, you could spill water on it. Don't spill water on your notebook, but you could, and it would probably hold up. But it also feels a little bit more like linen. It's got that kind of like linen-esque texture. Why are you not an ambassador anymore? Because my term was up. they only give you a year on it, and like you can reapply if you want to. I decided not to reapply so that I can like, pursue other things like not writing blog posts. I took it up again because I'm like, yeah, you've got more time in your schedule now. I'm sure blog post writing won't be so bad when you have more available time. I hate writing blog posts. I really don't like it. But having a look. So acrylograph pens, these are our, acrylic-based ink or whatnot. They're effectively a paint marker. I have stopped collecting acrylographs, so I am marked safe from acrylographs, but I do appreciate that you can use them on the different types of paper, and I like that they give us the visuals of what they look like on each of those types of paper. Rather than open up a new thing, I'm just going to zoom in as far as I can here. There we go. So, ooh, they're so pretty. Ooh, okay, like that, those top 5 pens, that kind of like that gradient. Chef's kiss. Love it so much. Speaking of spills, you spilled chocolate milk all over your work desk? No! Oh, that'd be sticky. I feel for you. Hopefully you got all of that milk up, like cleaned up as well, because otherwise it's gonna get stank. We don't want that for you. So they are gorgeous, but for me, I will be probably looking at the calligraph pens instead because I'm a bit more of a fan of a brush marker, like water-based ink type of a thing. And again, these look really, really gorgeous. I'm gonna flip back and forth a little bit here. Yeah, I guess the colors do look fairly similar between the two of them, don't they? That's a pretty purple. Even though I just said that like red purples aren't really my preference, I do think that that's a really pretty purple. I think that the cap color on the red purple versus the cap color on the blue purple, like the blue purple cap matches the red purple swatch better. Maybe that's just because of the picture, or maybe it's because of my eyes, and maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but hopefully it kind of makes sense. Pen number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Pen number 5's cap versus pen number 5's swatch. Interesting matchup. Pen number 4's cap versus pen number 5's swatch. I feel like that matches a little better. Not perfectly, but like, yeah. But they are really, really pretty. The swatches of the acrylographs look a little sad. Now I feel like I need to go back and have a look at them. I mean, we are working with a darker palette, so at least on the blackout, you don't really see as much, so like, there is that. I think that possibly they might have wanted to go over a little bit more on the craft paper, but I also find that, like, you're always going to have a slight subduing of the color on the craft paper. I find that pretty much any pens are going to shine best on white. But then again, I also use white and I don't use paint pens and big grains of salt here. Let's see. If you like the Artex, you might also like the Ohuhu paint pens, just with a small nib on one side. Oh yeah, alrighty. Something to possibly check out. I have previously said that paint pens aren't for me, but I had also only used the acrylograph pens, and that's not to say that they're not a quality product. Probably was user error. It's just that I don't like having to clean my pens after I use them, and I'm not going to do that. I'm lazy. Instead, I really have been enjoying my Artex ones, which have like a kind of thicker brush nib, so they're not very good for like super fine detail work or anything, but I have been finding that like the upkeep of those, because it is lesser, makes me more inclined to use those pens. So yeah, let's see. You have Artex paint pens with dual tips coming this week. Ooh, fancy. I have not seen the dual tip ones. It might be something that I need to investigate. But we have the winter washi tape. We'll zoom out a little bit again so that we can see stuff. So winter washi tape, we have 4 sets of tape inspired by the notebook designs. I love that we do this. I love that we get the kind of like, we got the notebook and we've got the stickers and we've got the washi and then sometimes like another accessory, and then you can just get like your little collection and set. I think that when they started doing this was probably like spring of 2022. I might be talking schmack. All of my years are really jumbled together. We found this out in the Discord group earlier this week because I can't remember when anything actually released anymore. But whichever release they had for spring that had the Firefly. Yeah, the Firefly on the dark blue, because they had the Firefly like notebook and they also had the pencil case, and I also think there was probably tape or something. I didn't get it, but I got like every pencil case because I'm a sucker for a pencil case. But winter washi tapes, we have the 4 sets of tape, each inspired by the notebook designs. Perfect addition to your monthly spreads and planner pages all season. Love it. So how much are the washies usually? That's a great question. I'd never purchased the washies, so I don't know. But if you go onto their website and have a look at any of their tapes, it'll probably be roughly the same, provided you're not looking at a tape that's like on sale or anything like that. So if you go and have a look like at the Ghost washi from the Halloween release, that'll probably give you the best indication. Kelly reckons they're $15, so does our Fairy Queen Axel, and so does Hamtot 71. So I'm gonna go with 15 and just be part of that party. So we have the designs in the boxes. That's great. Can't see what they actually are though. So let's have a look. So Fox in the Winter Woods, inspired by winter foliage, rustic tree slices, and curious winter creatures. Northern Lights is inspired by the natural wonders of the Aurora Borealis, with captivating, swirling lights depicted over wintry mountains, bright stars, and silhouetted trees. Our Snowflake storybook inspired by cold wintry days, with unique ice crystals, cozy hot drinks, and outside wintry scenes and activities. And then Polar Penguin inspired by cute and curious winter animals wearing cozy clothes in their natural wintry surroundings. So I feel like we have to open up all of these. Open image in a new tab, open image in a new tab, open image in a new tab, open image in a new tab. So this one, we have our foxy friend and the little deer and stuff like that. I do appreciate that you probably could cut around, like difficult a little bit, but you could cut around individual designs here and kind of use them as little stickers. I mean, it is a small tape. Like I probably would expect that to be the 1.5 centimeters or like 3 dot grid boxes. So quite small designs. But I appreciate that we have some different sizes. I like the kind of variation in the like darkness of the colors in this one as well, because like we've got the fox on the dark green, which is like a very nice contrast. If you read the word cute, I don't think it counts, but I did just say it, so I don't know, we're gonna have another swig anyways because it's good for us. Because yeah, I think the reading it shouldn't count because it wasn't just me being like autopilot, oh it's so insert word here. So the robins too, it's sad that the shipping is so expensive. Yeah, shipping can be such a killer, but I think that of this set, I like the first two and the last one. And the third one, for me personally, because remember, all of this is my own opinion, so if I'm talking schmack about your favorite tape, you can just ignore me. The third one doesn't seem to match as well. And I have previously been caught out by saying, oh, this part doesn't match, and then we get to the stickers and then it totally makes sense. So, let's just hold on that because it might change. But let's see. You don't like that the foxes are getting cut off all over the designs? Yeah. The fox's head coming off here is a little bit grim. I think it would be nice to see if they had like what's that word? You know when they do like a perfect repeat of a pattern or whatever, so you can kind of like lay a piece down and then lay one down right over the top of it, and it looks like it like lines up so you can get like a perfect wall. It would be interesting to see if they'd done that. I don't expect. There we go, tiled it. Yeah, I don't know what the word is. I'm not a designer, but it would be interesting to see if they'd done that, but I don't think that that is probably likely. Let's say you love the first one, like the second one, not into the other two. That's fair. I think I like this one because it reminds me of Christmas baubles, even though they're supposed to be tree slices. But I do think that this one is like, I'm going to call it a weak link. It's not necessarily a weak link because by itself as a tape, it is actually quite nice. But I don't think it matches as well as the other ones. So we're going to close that one. We've got the Aurora Borealis tape. Sucker for the color palette. I don't know how I feel about this first one, mainly because you just have like a random assortment of different items. But that's also because of like the way that I like to use tape, and that's not really akin to how I like to use it. I do think it's interesting that we have two tapes that are pretty much like the same, but just a slightly different kind of, not even a different artist style kind of a thing, because the trees are technically the same, but like one of them is kind of like zoomed out and the moon is bright enough that you can kind of see things, and then zoomed in and we've got kind of like the dark silhouettes and stuff. So I think that that one's kind of interesting. I think it's cool that we've got that blue foiling again, because you've got that throughout the other parts of this collection, which is nice. But I think that this one, in terms of how I use tape, it's interesting that we have two tapes that I would be called like horizontal tapes. So because you've got like a tree landscape type thing, for me that would have to run horizontal along a page rather than up the side of a page, just because of how I like to use things. Yeah. But an interesting one for sure. Probably not for me, but then again, I usually don't buy the tapes from Archer and Olive, so like no harm, no foul. Let's see. Our next one here, this one I assume is the snowflake one. Probably because there are no penguins. Yeah, there we go. I figured it out. This one, I do really like that second tape. The snowflake tape, I think, is really pretty, but I don't think I would really use the other ones so much. It's also hard because, like, this is a winter release or whatnot. It's summer here. Like, don't look out the window. Not that you can, but don't look out the window because you wouldn't think it is, but technically it is summer here. And that's kind of why I liked the nostalgia collection from last year. I liked that it wasn't so themed to the season. Also, when I use my notebook, it lasts me 6 months. So it goes from like, one extreme season to the other. So it's like, do I really want to be using a snowflake notebook when I'm moving into summer? Possibly not, but or like starting it in summer. But I do think that this one is cute. I just think that I probably wouldn't be inclined to use it. Also, I think that the artistry style doesn't feel matchy matchy. I think the houses are cute. I probably wouldn't use them, but I think the houses are cute. So, what do you guys reckon? Oh god, I said it like 3 times, didn't I? Yep, there we go. Tink. Tink. That's enough water? Just take one really big sip. Let's see. I agree about the nostalgia collection. Not big into seasonal themes in my notebooks. They span like 6 months. Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have variation and that kind of thing. So having this nostalgia collection this year and then having a winter theme this year, like I'm not gonna be like all up in arms or anything like that. Like, oh, how dare you release a seasonal collection at a seasonal time? Pitchfork, rah rah, fight the power. No. All right. But I do think that it is nice when we have seasonal releases that aren't kind of like seasonally themed. Especially because if you have, the 4 releases a year, what you guys know the seasons. I don't need to list them because I'm going to make a fool of myself. But if you theme them to the season every single year, then it does get a little bit kind of like one note almost. So I think the nostalgia collection was kind of nice to just change things up a little bit. I also think that it's nice that they don't necessarily do holiday themed releases because they do recognize that they have like, width in their audience. They have quite a range of people and not everybody is going to be celebrating the same holidays. So we'll keep things a little bit more kind of like generic, and I almost said the word. I didn't say it, but I almost said it. Let's see. So happy that I don't feel the need for any kind of notebook this time. I'm glad. Yeah, it is nice when a release actually isn't for you because it just means that you get to save your money for something that really clicks. So let's have a look. You have the 4 seasons notebooks from Hub and a Chub Girl and using them all now for different tracking. Nice. I just have the the gingerbread notebook that came in the like Advent house, and then I also have the honeybee one or something that they had in one of their kind of like journal starter kits. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but anywho. So we have I actually kind of almost like this one the most, but I think it's mainly just for the little penguins. See, this is also the thing. If the penguin on the notebook cover was more like this penguin here, like this little cutie guy, yeah, I would probably be more inclined to get it because I appreciate this style of penguin better than the one that we had on the notebook. I like that this one is a little bit more stylized. It's kind of like smooth on the bottom. It doesn't have like little fluff at the feet. I don't know. I'm not trying to like shame the penguin here for actually looking like a penguin. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that this one is nice. I think that they are all matched together fairly well. Maybe the last one possibly isn't as much of a matchy as the others, but it's still quite cute. I like the narwhal. I think that the narwhal is cute. It's a cute addition. I've said that like 6 times, haven't I? Fur. I need to find better words. This is why people read, right? So that they have better words. Obviously, I haven't been reading very much recently. Oh dear. We're just going to take one really long sip. I apologize if you're playing at home and haven't been using water. That was your own choice, though. Tink times 5? Seriously. So many times. Oh dear. We're gonna have to have like an official count at the end of this. Yeah, you're all out of water now. I've still got plenty left because mine's a 2-liter bottle. I came prepared for this because I knew I have very limited vocabulary. But they look very sweet. They look very proper in their scarves. It's nice to see the variety of friends they have. I'm just being very, very careful now. But let's see. Of the 4 that we've seen, of the 4 tapes, I'm just gonna go back to the main page here so that we can kind of see all of them together. Which one would you be most likely to get? Like, even if you're not getting any of the tapes, if like, one was gifted to you, which one do you hope it would be? Kind of a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go pee if she carries out at this pace. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to be like, alrighty guys, we've gotten halfway through the reveals and I actually have to go to the laboratoire, so I will see you in a second. No, I'm holding out here. We can do this. Let's see, what do you guys reckon? We've got Snowflake, Northern Lights, the third one. Yep, Northern Lights, Northern Lights, Northern Lights. Okay, so there's big fans of the Northern Lights ones. I will say I do appreciate the color palette on that one. It is very pretty. I think that for me it would probably be I'm trying to think of like, how I actually use tape and how many of each tapes in each set I would actually be inclined to use. Because I think in the Northern Lights set, there's probably 2 that I would use. In the Foxy set, I would probably have 2 that I would use. In the Snowflake, there's probably only 1 that I would genuinely use, and honestly, in the Penguin one, there's probably none. I just thought that they all looked very nice together. Nice. Let's see. No Ethernet lights. Oh. No Ethernet lights. You like the Northern Lights vibes, giving it a bit of ACTA vibe? Yeah, that's fair. If we had some kinda, like, Starfall moment, sure. I, appreciated the what? It was probably the Fall collection? No, not Fall. Whatever one had all of the ship-related stuff, mermaids and such, it was probably Spring. I appreciated the, Starfall-esque notebook in that one. I thought that one was really cute, but alrighty, so tape is obviously one of the things. We also get sticker sets. Yay! So we're going to do a similar thing. We're just going to open up all of them, and this is hopefully where we'll start to see some of those elements that we didn't think matched quite as well being repeated. So it's like if you're getting the stickers and the tape together, then at least you have some kind of like matchy in there. But we can open all of those up in the new tabs, and we're going to go through these ones. Now, let's see. There we go. We got it. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 designs on each sheet for 2 sheets of 14 stickers. So we've got the little robin again. We've got our foxes. We've got our little deer and a whole bunch of tree-esque bits. The thing that I find with stickers is that when I use stickers, I like to use quite a lot of stickers. Did I say it again? I may have. I'm gonna just drink anyways because it's good for me. Oh dear. See, this is why we can't play actual drinking games on the internet because we'd all be like pissed off our rockers, and that's not good for this time of the morning on a Thursday for me. So adorable's a good word. I like that. I'm gonna try using adorable instead. I did? Oh gosh. Sigh. So I think that this one is quite adorable. I like that it matches with the other elements that we've seen. I think that this is kind of similar-esque to the tape, but I don't think that the tape design was actually the same as this. So yeah, this is why you prefer getting the digital stickers and printing them now. Yeah, I think that's the nice part about the digital stickers is that if you have the means to print and cut them, you just get more for your money kind of a thing because you can print them as many times as you want, which I very much appreciate because yeah, when I use stickers, I do use quite a lot. Mainly because when I do a theme, I want to theme it for the entire month. I don't just theme it for a week. Like if I was theming for an individual week, then this would actually be probably too many stickers if I had 2 full sheets. But if I'm theming for an entire month, this probably wouldn't be enough for me because I usually use quite a lot of pages when I do my daily logging, and I still like to be able to decorate those. Yeah, no cut off heads or tails missing for the win. Yes, that's also a benefit. We don't have to worry about that unless you rip your sticker. Be careful. We don't want to hurt your furry little friends. Oh my gosh. So that one's looking very sweet. We can move over to the next one. The owl is an interesting addition here. Like, did we see an owl in anything else? I don't think so, but I also think it's interesting that we get the owl with the kinda, like what's the word? Outlining or whatnot, but the deer doesn't get any outlining. The deer is just like a silhouette of a deer, but that's kind of interesting. Does this one yeah, the downside of digital is not having the shiny bits, if they have them. That's very fair. The deer is giving you Harry Potter vibes. I completely understand that. Yeah, I can totally see that. I think that this one is quite interesting, especially because of the difference in terms of, like, we've got the Aurora Borealis here, which looks kind of like the notebook cover, but then we also have the ones that are actually more akin to kinda like the, colorful vibes that we have and such. You have a hollow laminate so you can make them shiny? Nice. Yeah, you like the owl and the trees in the middle, but not the rest of them, fair. I think that these little trees are actually quite cute. I would like that on a tape, like, no colored background. This is another thing that I get with tapes as well, is that if they've got ones that are like, grass or a kind of silhouette skyline or anything like that, I want the background to be white so it just blends into my notebook so it kind of looks like I printed it on. Did I say it again? I was being so careful. Dang it. See, This obviously goes to show the number of times we say words just on autopilot, because otherwise I wouldn't pay a lot of attention to it. But let's see. Why is the aurora borealis blue? It's just a question for someone that lives with it. I'm not too sure. I know that they did it with the blue foiling on the notebook. I'm not sure why they picked blue specifically, but I assume that the other parts in here that they've done in the blue is to match the foiling that they chose, but I don't know why they picked the foiling color that way. I think it would have been kind of cool to see in holographic, but yeah. We need to come up with some alternatives to that one as well. Like we had adorable. I use sweet quite a lot because that one's kind of an easy change for me, but anywho. So moving on to our next set, we have the snowflakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stickers on this one. I like to count because, you know, it's nice to know how many you're getting. I probably wouldn't use these. I think that the artistic style on this one, these feel more matchy than they did on the tapes. And it might just be because we're seeing them bigger, but I do appreciate that they kind of match together a little bit better here. I like the snowflakes. I kind of just wish we had a page full of different styles of snowflakes. I'd probably be more inclined to use that. It is very pretty, but it is probably not something that I would use, at least not at this time. I mean, when we have winter here, we don't usually have snow as well, so I feel like it wouldn't be appropriate for my neck of the woods, but it's still pretty cute. Frig! Dang it! That one I caught. That one I heard. I heard it coming out of my mouth. It's fine. Doesn't even matter. It's not even a problem. The body is happy. The body is hydrated. The body is angry. But it's okay. It's fine. So, very sweet. Very demure. Very mindful. Oh dear. I don't think it's for me, but then again, like as said, the way that I use stickers, these don't really work anyways. Yeah, your skin is going to feel so good tonight. I will agree with that because it's been feeling a little parched, a little thirsty recently. So I'm like, oh, this is a good game to play anyways. Charming. What a nice word. I like that. See, look at how charming these guys look. It's much better. Oh dear. Not in a creepy way. Yeah, not in a creepy way. This is the skin of a killer Bella. Anyways, so we have our little penguin friends. I see if these three here, were on the front cover of the notebook, I would have probably liked the notebook more because I do think that they are very adorable. You're out of water? Yeah, okay, show of hands. How many people have run out of water while we've been playing this game? I want to know. Because I feel like you guys didn't come prepared. You guys didn't understand the severity of my inability to use other words. Let's see. Loving the polar bear. Alrighty, let's go have a look at the polar bears. They are pretty sweet, aren't they? Almost said it, didn't say it. We've got our little penguin friends. This guy's doing a little dance. Oh, looking very swell. The rabbit's an interesting addition. Did we have rabbits on the other one? Let's see. I'm out. Hands up. Out. Oh dear. I apologize. But also, it's good for you. So, you know, benefits all round here. So, I think that having this larger sticker in the middle with the little penguins learning how to swim and such is quite nice. So, we've got our, you know, mama, papa penguin, adult penguin, the adult supervisor penguin, making sure that they're doing it right, making sure that they don't push each other in the line, get all like fluffed up when they're getting into the water. I, again, probably wouldn't use these, but if I had a full sheet of them, I just want it to be these three characters doing different things because I think that they're I didn't say it. You can't do it. I didn't even get through the whole word. I think they are the most adorable. Let's see. So, having a look at our four together. Again, which one would you be most inclined to get if you had, you know, given to you as a gift? You don't have to buy them yourself. If one was, you know, just randomly slipped into your package, your next order, which one would you be most inclined to be like, oh, yay, how exciting. I'm so pumped to receive this. I think for me, the one I'd probably be most excited to receive would probably be the fox one. I like the palette of it. I think that the colors work really nice together. I like the contrast of a green and red. Also, it's kind of Christmassy in a way, like so I could technically use it for that, which would be kind of nice. Let's see, what do you guys reckon? Northern Lights, snowflakes, winter woods, ooh, penguins. Oh, we've got a good mix here. Let's see, just a whole collection of the narwhals. Yeah, the narwhals are pretty cool, eh? Let's see. Say I said cool. I didn't say the other word, so I'm safe. Let's see. Let's say you have a nephew who works with penguins for his job, so maybe use some for him. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. The foxes, the snowflake. Nice. Alrighty, well, see, we've got a good mix here. I always appreciate when a collection has wide appeal. So, scrolling on down, each of these includes 2 sheets of stickers printed on matte paper, and you can also pick them up as digital printables, which is very useful. Digital printables are usually, I think, about $11. I'm not too sure how much the actual stickers are, but yeah. So, we also have a winter stamp set, which kind of brings together a lot of the different elements. We'll just zoom in a little bit so we can. Eh. Oh, my key's stuck. My key's stuck. See that? Can we see that? There we go. We'll zoom back up there. Which we've got obviously like the snowflakes, we've got the penguin, we've got the trees. What's missing? The fox, maybe, but I guess we've technically got this part here, which was kind of seen in the fox, and we do have the tree from the fox. Snowflakes obviously from the snowflake design, and then these trees here and the mountain at the top were from the kind of aurora borealis ones. Let's see. They're the same price, but the digital never goes on sale. That's an interesting choice. Because obviously, I guess the physical stickers go on sale because they're trying to like move stock so that they have more space to bring in other things. But I guess when it's a digital thing, it doesn't really like take up space. Like, it obviously takes up some space, but it's kind of like one file sent to multiple type of a deal. So interesting. Let's see. So I think it's pretty cool. We've got permanent black ink with that one, and we also have the stamp block that comes with it. So even if you're a stamping newbie, kind of like me, at least you get all of the parts that you need to be able to do the thing. I know that this isn't the point, but also the boxes that the stamps come in are quite useful. I call mine like project boxes because they're just a little bit deeper and you can put other things in them, which is kind of nice, but not necessarily why you would purchase it, but still something to consider. So, zooming out of that one. Whee! Too much zoom, too much zoom. I like that they also show us kind of examples of how they've been used here, is just kind of nice as well. And then we have, okay, we actually have prices, which we also appreciate. So this retails at $25, comes with the acrylic stamps, the acrylic block, and the permanent black ink pad. I do appreciate that they give us black because it's kind of, the most generic traditional type of a thing. But I do also like it when they consider giving us different color inks. As someone who doesn't collect a lot of ink, getting the same black ink pad over and over again is kind of like, I don't really need more of the same. So it possibly would have been nice in this one to see maybe like a pale gray or something like that. Something that kind of like felt snowstorm winter-esque type of a deal. But again, if this is your first stamp set, having black is probably more useful than having a color. So, let's see. We have the winter fountain pen and ink set. Now, this one is I find it interesting. I find it interesting that we get fountain pens from Archer and Olive, mainly because, and don't at me if I'm wrong, but I don't think their notebooks work very well with fountain pens. Like, some of them maybe, like if you have a fountain pen that doesn't put down a lot of ink, not too bad. But if you're using a fountain pen that has, quite an inky nib and puts down a lot of ink, I've seen them feather quite a lot, which I don't think is the best way to highlight the niceness of your inks. Again, I don't use fountain pens, so this is me just, talking schmack possibly, but it's just interesting. I love that pen. Also got 10 of it from Temu. Oh dear. Let's see. They did it because people begged for it. Yeah, I think it'd be that kind of thing that if they were going to go the route, I don't know, both, of fountain pens, it would be interesting to see them bring out some notebooks that had fountain pen friendly paper, or like things that were specifically designed for fountain pen use, especially because we have seen things like watercolor notebooks from them when they released their watercolor paints. So it's not like they can't do other types of paper, it's just maybe they're kind of more limited availability, limited number of designs that come out with them. But let's have a look. So, open image in a new tab. Go to the new tab. So we have the fountain pen itself, with the same kind of body that we see in the other fountain pens that they've had. I have one fountain pen, and it is the most beautiful, gorgeous thing that anybody has ever seen. I don't even care if you have another fountain pen that you think is prettier. You're wrong. This one. Her name is Iris. She is beautiful. She is from Twisby. She was a gift from Mark. I don't use her because she's too pretty. I do use her sometimes, but right now she has a green ink in there, and I don't write in green ink very often. But like, I would rather use this type of a fountain pen than that one. I haven't used that one. So, grains of salt here. If you are a fountain pen fan and you like this pen, go forth. Do as you will. But it just looks very short to me, and I don't know if that's just the sizing, but like I think I prefer a pen that's a little bit longer. Shrug. I don't know what the film mechanism is in it. I can't tell you any of the details. Maybe they have the details on the website. Let's go have a look. I mean, it's not like we're not here to actually have a look at these things, right? So this fountain pen features an M-size nib with an approximate width of 0.5 millimeter twist piston converter for easy ink filling and cleaning. Whether you're jotting down important notes or longhand journaling, this pen allows you to achieve a distinct style and tailor your ideal writing experience. Interesting. I mean, I do like fountain pens for the fact that you can change the ink color and you can use the same style of pen but use different inks and all that kind of thing. I don't like having maintenance with my pens though. I don't like pens that require upkeep, so I never change my ink, and that's why I'm not using this pen because it has green ink in it. So, but we'll see. We'll see what people think about it. It's not going to be for me, but then again, I don't use fountain pens. What I am kind of excited about though is their fountain pen ink, which again, and this picture in particular, if we do a little zoom in, is the one that gives me pause of the idea of like, why are we showing off that your paper doesn't gel well with your ink almost. The colors flippin' gorgeous though. Like if I was an ink collector, and I'm holding off because I do not need another thing to collect, but if I was an ink collector, I would be inclined to grab these because I think that they are very pretty. I really like that end of the kind of rainbow spectrum, but I don't use fountain pens, so I don't need inks. And I know there are other ways to use inks. I don't do those either though. So probably don't need to. Yeah, they probably use the last release for the bottle box photo too. I want to see what the actual box photo is. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm not too sure. But I do think that the colors here are really pretty. I just don't think that the inks and their they're not showing them best selves on this picture, I feel. I feel like by having them on this paper where it does feather, I don't think that that's the best way to showcase the product, but I'm not a photographer, I'm not a marketer, so take all of this with a grain of salt. I just think that the colors are really pretty. So if you're using them on something that isn't the Archer and Olive notepad, possibly would work quite well. But let's see. What do you guys reckon? Let's see. Your pocketbook will be empty. Oh no. Yep, you love the ink colors. They're nice colors. The indigo should lean more purple than teal. I would agree with that. I think that the indigo should be darker. At least for my personal perspective of what an indigo looks like. But yeah, agree that they're gorgeous, but I have no use for them. Fair. Yeah. So I'm probably not going to be getting them. Love this, just lol at the feathering. Yeah. I don't know. I think that because you're trying to showcase your product to be as best as you can and all of that kind of thing, it just seems like an interesting way to take a picture. I closed the same thing again, didn't I? Gosh dang it. One of these days I'll be able to use my own computer and we won't have these kind of issues. I apologize. But we will just bring that one back up. Thankfully, I've managed to figure out a quicker way to do it. So far, I think that I'm pretty safe from accessories. I'm still tempted to get the Snowflake notebook. It's just like, oh, do I wake up at 4 a.m. to try and get that? Or do I kind of just hopes and prayers that it's still there by the time I get back? But I do know that Square notebooks do have a tendency to sell out quicker because they are kind of one of the only places that actually sells and provides them or whatnot. But alrighty, we've still got things to look at though. Rainbow notebooks are gorgeous. Yeah, they're looking pretty cute, aren't they? Beautiful. It's nice to have them out on display. We're just going to ignore the sad corner down here because that's got like what I very politely call the fuck it bucket, which is effectively like good quality stationery stuff that I don't want to need to do like a giveaway or something with. But anyway, so having a look, we got up to here-ish, roughly. We had a look at the inks, and now we're on to the printable planner tabs. I don't want to have to print things to put in my journal. She says, that's a total lie. I totally print things to put in my journal. I don't want to have to print tabs to put in my journal. If they were already like printed and cut and came to me, then yes, I would be inclined possibly to use them, but I also don't like things sticking out the side of my journal, so I'm talking schmack again. Did I say that? Did I? Oh, fine. It's cool. It's all good. Hydration is good for us. Tink. So, I missed it as well. Don't even worry. But then again, I missed most of them, unless it's the one that I like feel coming out of my mouth. So, in terms of our printable planner tabs, we have a variety of designs here. It's nice to see for the most part that we don't have anything that would like I spoke too soon. We're gonna have to go and have a look at every single one of these so that I can explain my annoyance. So, if you haven't come across these tabs before, effectively the way they work is that you stick one side of them to the uh, like page you're working on, and then you fold it over to the other side, which means that on one side you get this kind of design, and then on the other side you get the other side of the design. Where my annoyance comes in is the fact that if you have a look at where this design ends, you're going to have the tops of your trees cut off and going over to the other side of the page. And I know that that is such a persnickety biscuit thing to say, but I am a persnickety biscuit, so it's in keeping with my character. But it's that thing, like, if it goes too high up, it folds over to the other side. If the design is a full-fledged, like, whole print design, it's gonna go the wrong way when it goes to the other side. This one here sits comfortably underneath, so it's not a problem. You just said the word. You said the word. It wasn't me. I thought you said I said the word. I'm like, I didn't say it. Don't lie to me. But we go have a look. This one will be fine because it's just that kind of like little corner design. This one will be fine. It's a corner design. The robin's fine. The tree pieces, they might be a little bit too close. Yeah, the alignment, that's the word. The alignment would bug me. And then this one will be fine because they're all down the bottom. This will be fine. They're all down the bottom. But I do wish that, like, I know that they don't have to look pretty at the back as well, but it's like when you open your notebook and you can see the back of the tabs, I would like there to be some kind of, like, picture there. So even if it was just, like, a mirroring of it, so like a mirroring of the little shrooms or something like that. Yeah, I love tabs, but printable tabs are too much work. I'd rather buy Post-its. Yeah, very, very fair. The mushrooms, though, the mushrooms are really, really cute. I would dang it, you, me, sigh. The deep green is very, very nice, and I do appreciate the palette that they have used here. The shrooms are very sweet looking. Got me. But this one will be fine. It comes low enough so it's okay. This one will be fine. This is what they need. They just need somebody who's as picky as I am to do their quality control, because I'll just go through every design and be like, no, that tree is too tall. You're going to cut off its knobbin. Like, literally, it's too tall. You can see that it's going to go get sliced. It's not going to get sliced, but it is going to get folded over to the backside. And that's not where we want it. We don't want it on the backside. This is the one in particular that I saw, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is not going to work. So we have a look. We've got this guy is fine. These ones, like, they're stars and sparkles. It will fold over to the other side based on where this lines up, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose. Trees will be okay. This one was one that kind of irked me. Possibly not as much as other designs would, but with this one, when you cut it over, you're going to cut off the top of that tree, which is what it is, and then you're just going to have sky on the other side, so it's not going to look terrible. It's not gonna look the worst. The mountain will be okay. This tree will be okay. This one is another one where the top of the tree is gonna get cut off, and you're gonna have this look upside down on the other side of the page. That one again, you're gonna cut off just a few lines, and that's gonna look really. It's just gonna look odd from the back. I'm trying not to be a hater here. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive. Like, they're very cute. I'll have it in a second. Don't worry. I heard that one. They're very nice. The palette is pretty, but I just wish that they would pay attention to that particular detail. And I mean, again, I'm not going to buy these. They're not going to be for me anyways. So I can sit here and be a persnickety biscuit all day long, and it doesn't really matter because they're not for me. But for the people who do like them and do want them, this would just be something that'd be nice to consider. Anyways. Let's see. Yeah, random dots are the other ones. Yeah, with the stars. Exactly. It would just look like a little bit strange. You just have these, like, kind of one color tabs and then this little, like, weird thing on it. And it's the kind of thing that if you're getting this as a digital file, if you have any kind of ability to do photo manipulation and stuff, you can probably fix a chunk of these. But some of them you can't. And the one in particular that I was looking at that I'm like, you can't, is this one here. Because this is a full, like, painting mountain design, which means that on the back side of this one, your mountain will be upside down. And that would look odd to me. I wouldn't like it. Let's see, are we trying for 30? It feels like we're trying for 30. But anywho, so we'll just go through these ones kind of quickly because I feel like I've said my piece on it. You guys know what we're looking for here. This one, his design just fell off or something. That one's not so bad because the trees are low enough that you just get kind of wash of color, which is kind of nice. And then we have just some simple designs on these ones. So next one, we have this one is the one that feels the most Christmassy, but only because of the ribbon. Snowflakes. Oh, my mouse is going every which what direction. We've got a candle. We've got some little bits and pieces there. We can actually do two at a time, so we're gonna go through here. You can see the houses, and the houses don't come so high that they are going to get cut off, which is nice. And then some more snowflake-esque kind of designs. That one looks odd to me. I don't know why, it just does. I like these gingerbread cookies, but I think this is probably why it feels kind of Christmassy to me. But it's cute. In a second. We're gonna at least move to the Polar Friends one. This one, his little beak got cut off, and now I'm sad for him. Oh, half of his face is gone. Yeah, the mountain lake would have been a good one to use that mirroring effect because you could make it so that it was like reflected in the water or something like that. That would have been a really cool way to do it or deal with it. But alas, the 3-star is odd because the dots aren't centered but a little higher. Yeah, wah wah. But this one would get cut off. That one is the return of the rabbit whose ears might just make it. A little hard to see. We've got the mountain. We're going to do two here. The mountain and the dots. And our little polar friends didn't get cut off here, except for the penguin who is missing part of his limb. A little sad. And two little ice block friends. And then the narwhal looking pretty swell. This one, the snowflakes sit just under that line, so that would be okay. And then the penguins down the bottom here. Yeah. They lopped the bunny ears, did they? Yeah, they will. The bunny is just the tip though, just the tip. But it would make me a little sad. Let's see. Thank you for a little bit of positivity at the moment. You're welcome. I mean, I don't know how positive I'm being right now because I'm ragging on these designs. Again, if it doesn't bother you, these are really nice. I think that the palettes that they've chosen and like being able to kind of mix and match and put them together would be a lot of fun. I just wish that some of the designs had been tweaked ever so slightly so that things don't get cut off and folded weird and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah. So we also have the holiday shop. So this is a new thing. We haven't seen this from them before, which is kind of exciting. But they have effectively like little bits and pieces that you can use to help you with like your preparation for the holiday season. So this one is the winter floral tissue paper. So featuring an intricate floral design on a deep green background. So if you want to, buy your goodies from A&O and then you also want to wrap your presents in A&O paper, they have you covered. Covered. Okay. Anyways, you're lucky I'm not drinking for that because oof. So this one retails for $13, has 10 sheets of thick, opaque tissue paper. Thick and tissue paper are an interesting combination of words because in my mind, tissue paper by definition is thin. But hey, I do think that the design is pretty. I probably don't need it. Like, I've got so much wrapping paper. The best time I find to buy wrapping paper is Boxing Day because they go on sale and you can just buy them for next year. I don't know if that's going to be the case for these ones. I don't know how long they're going to be there for, but still. So we also have gift bags in a range of different kind of designs. Okay, so 4 bags, 2 unique designs. So we've got snowman and we've got just like leafy green type bits. We'll zoom in a little bit and have a little cheeky gander. Oh, that was too far. Gift tags, gift bags. Nice. I do appreciate that they use the journals as a way to show you how large the bags are. What are you supposed to print the tabs on? Sticker or what? Yeah, probably sticker paper. I mean, you probably could also print them on regular paper if you wanted. You'd then just have to add the adhesive yourself. I'd probably print them on sticker paper if I was going to use them. But yeah, let's see. I think it's worth noting that we're partly more persnickety because it's A&O and we're usually paying more than your local craft shop or places like Journal say. Yes, exactly. And I think that's the kind of thing. It's like, because we are paying a premium for items, we get to be a little bit more picky about it in a way. It's the kind of thing that like I do find those things My picky nature is very helpful for saving me from purchasing things that I don't necessarily need. Like, otherwise, the cheerleader effect sets in and it's like, "Oh, I wanna get the notebook and the stickers and the washi and the planner tabs and everything will be matchy-matchy and really super cute," which is totally fair, and if you wanna do that, go forth, because I love things that are matchy-matchy, but in knowing that there are some items that either I won't use or I won't use because of a particular, like, design element or something like that, I'm gonna be, like, more safe kind of a thing. Okay, I've got a tink, and I don't even remember saying it, so I'm just gonna trust you. I thought I was doing okay. Uh, well, technically I am doing okay. The body is happy to be hydrated, you know? I've got one of those bottles that has the little, like, things down the side. I don't find them very motivating, but at the moment it's like, "Remember your goal." I'm like, "Yeah, my goal was to not say the forbidden word, and I'm failing." It's fine. So, all good. We've got the Christmas bags looking pretty cute. So it says, yeah, 4 bags, 2 unique designs printed on sturdy coated materials, whatnot. I've just zoomed out, so now I can't find them. Sturdy coated paper with strong metallic braided rope handles. Well, yeah, it's nice. I always prefer to wrap gifts than I do to put them in bags, unless I'm running late, and then putting it in a bag is super, super convenient, because it's like, "Oh, look, you look nice, and I didn't even have to try." Did I do it again? I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I feel like you guys are lying to me, but it's fine. Just do it again. Yep. Let's see. I have a sudden fear that you're going to think that that's all the water you need until Monday. I don't know. It might be. Let's see. So yeah, looking pretty. Yeah, that phrase is the one that is the nemesis. All right, nemesis phrases as well. We have the phrases that I just use too often, and then we have the nemesis phrases. So we also have gift tags. We'll just do a little zoom in here rather than opening them up specifically because I feel like I don't know, I'm personally not here for gift tags, but they are kind of sweet. So, yep, they've got the to and from sections. You've got a range of stickers, 2 sheets of those on matte paper, which means that you can write on them with any pen, which is quite useful. There's nothing worse than having a sticker that's supposed to be written on that you just can't write on because of the material. So, safe for actually being able to be written on, which is good. Let's see. So, advent calendar. Now, this is the one that I have some thoughts about. Mainly because I'm pretty sure last year's advent calendar was $80. I didn't get it. I haven't gotten an advent calendar from Arch and Olive. I've always been very tempted, but I am also the kind of person who doesn't deal very well with surprises that I have to pay for. Like, I do enjoy surprises, but in terms of buying an advent calendar, unless I have a good level of detail about what's actually in the box, I am not the kind of person who usually will put the cost in. That being said, I'm okay with a lucky dip, provided the lucky dip is like, I don't know, cheap or whatever. But yeah, $79, you checked your order history. Okay, I appreciate that because yeah, having not gotten it myself, I wouldn't have been able to remember. But let's see. Okay, I came here mainly for this. Oh lord. Let's see. So we have festive flurries, which I keep reading that as furries, and I'm like, okay, festive flurries advent calendar retailing for $125. Mm, Now, that being said, if we have a think about something like the Hubman and Chub Girl advent calendar, because I recently unboxed that, which had 24 packages and was $160. Okay, so that is more expensive, but also has more stuff. I believe that this one is only a 12-day calendar, but let us continue forward and read on. Yes, so if you love cozy winter aesthetic, you'll be love, come on, 12 boxes containing unique, limited edition, and never seen before products as you count down to the holidays. To keep the contents a surprise, we won't be showing you any of the items in here, but if you do like a sneak peek, see the listing on launch day for a text description to reveal what to expect. So you won't get to see the items, but you will get to at least read about what the items are, but not until release day, which was what, Friday, the 8th of November, 9 a.m. CT. Uh, okay, I know that we have some super sleuths in here, so let us open some images and have a cheeky, sneaky look. Whoa, that's quite in your face. I know I did that. I zoomed in, but so we've got a flat pack here I feel like I'm in the way. You tell me if you can still hear me if I do this. Can you still hear me, or am I gone? I'm not sure. Do I keep running my mouth here? I'm just gonna wait until y'all tell me that you can or can't hear me. But on the off chance that you can, okay, excellent, fabulous. I don't even have to be on screen. How good is that? Get your face out of the way. We're not here to see you, ma'am. So for this one, like, okay, we've got number 5 is quite a flat packet. So are we thinking like stickers, die cuts, stencil, that kind of a thing? You could have like washi on a roller, but they're probably like, a little like plastic card or something. But I feel like it would probably be more something like flat. If you're thinking the box underneath it, I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of a flat-ish box. Maybe we're thinking some pens or something like that. It could be some calligraphs or whatnot. Yeah, so it could be stickers, could be tape. We've got a couple of boxes below it. But if we oh, okay. So this one's a kind of like larger box underneath it. This one with the snowflakes. And then we've got another flat box at the bottom, which I assume would be stickers because we've seen that kind of package design as stickers previously. Yeah, the box beneath it kind of looks a little ruler sized. Possibly. I could be. Like if you were doing like an A5 ruler. Given the fact that we typically see items that are not what's the word? Like, they're not staples in the shop already type of a thing. I would expect that it possibly isn't a ruler, but this is all hearsay, so I could be talking schmack. Number 8 kind of looks like the metal page bookmarks that bend the pages. Interesting. Alrighty, let's go have a look at the next picture. So we have number 1 being that kind of like square shaped box. 4 possibly like a writing pen maybe. Number 7 has an interesting box type as well. I reckon that this red box in the corner, that kind of gives washi vibes, but at the same time, it also looks quite tall. So, possibly not. The big box, maybe a mug. Yeah, that would be in keeping with kind of things we've seen before, but maybe making it like winter festive-esque kind of themed. But yeah, so at this stage, we don't necessarily know. We can make kind of assumptions. We can do the whole like hearsay type of a deal, but don't necessarily actually know. It'll be interesting to see what the listing tells us on the day. Uh, I don't think I'll be able to justify getting that though, because if you do it like $125, I mean, first of all, I don't even know if it'll ship to New Zealand because most of the time the boxes don't ship to New Zealand. The Halloween box did, but the subscription boxes never do. So $125. What do you guys reckon? I just for 12 items, I'm gonna do some math. 125 divided by 12. That is, yeah, $10.40 roughly per item. And if I think about paying $10.40 for a pack of stickers, like technically speaking, if you get a sheet of stickers off their website, it is $11. So that is kind of in keeping with the prices. And that's also not including things like if you get washi tape, which is $15 from their website, or if you get a notebook, which is anywhere from like 20 something to 30 something dollars. I don't think we're going to have like a big notebook in this box, at least just based on the kind of the dimensions of the box, but haven't seen it in person. Je ne sais pas. I don't think I will be getting this, mainly because, as said, I'm not good with surprises that I have to pay for. Also, it's just kind of pricey and shipping on top of that. But if Mark gets it and he unboxes it, I will certainly watch that video. This is the kind of thing I'm just, yeah, wait until it tells us what's in it, kind of a thing. And I guess the question here is how much of the box has to sound like it is of interest to you to actually warrant getting the box? For me, oftentimes for an advent calendar, like, or any kind of like surprise box that you get multiple things in or whatever, I would probably have to like at least 80 to 90% of it. It kind of depends. Like, okay, let's think about it in terms of like a number of items. Out of the 12 items, I would probably have to be solidly convinced that I like 8 of them at least, like 8 of them that I genuinely like or want, and then the other 4 I'd be okay with being like, whatever. At that price point, that would be roughly my amount. Why 12 days though? Probably for the 12 days of Christmas type deal. I know that there are a few different advent calendar type things that do 12 instead of 24. I'm always more of a fan of 12. By that I mean 24, and I can't count. 24 is better for me. But yeah, that's only because I want something every single day for the lead up to Christmas. I don't want to have to wait until whatever 12 days before the 25th is. Let's see. Yeah, agreed 80% minimum, at least 50%, be 9 or 10, otherwise it'd be too expensive. I think that's the thing, right? And the price is gonna be a very big dictator in terms of, like, where that limit is for me. Like, how much of it do I actually have to genuinely gel with before I'd be inclined to buy it? I'm interested to see how quickly this one sells out though, because I also don't know how much stock they have. Like, I know nothing. I am Jon Snow, but scrolling on down, as we said, 12 unique limited edition items, and they also have the Winter Meadow Kit Club. I assume that this is the kit club that, let's see, don't forget our kit club will be open for new subscribers on the 12th of November. Includes washi tape, collage paper, stickers, Winter Meadow theme. Is this their December kit club? It didn't say December, so I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just like a special one? Yeah. If you sign up on Tuesday, the Winter Meadow kit will be shipped straight away. Going forward, you'll be billed and sent new kits on the first of each month. Okay, so yeah, that might be the December one. But in terms of the full release, obviously, there are going to be some items that I will be picking up. Maybe not at 4 o'clock in the morning because I just have better things to do, like sleep. Maybe I might be awake. If you are going to grab yourself anything though, remember you can use JashiiCorrin 10 to check out for 10% off your order because we love savings. Let me know though, if you're here on the replay, thank you for sticking around so long. If you're here on the live, also thank you for sticking around so long. Make sure to refresh the video, leave a comment to tell me what you think you'd be getting, what items you're most interested in, which ones are just kind of like a nah, hard pass. For now though, I'm going to go and find a Coke because I don't want to drink any more water. Have a fabulous rest of your day though, and I will see you next time.